Man, oh man, oh man. Today was an ugly, ugly day for the stock market. We got off to a really bad start. But I'm going to break it down for you, let you guys know what's going on with the stock market, why the stock market plummeted. From what last time I checked, it dropped by about 600 points. We're going to break it all down for you and get started. So buckle up seatbelt, get comfortable. We're getting started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Good morning. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about black wealth and black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under one condition. The condition is that you have to be, we need you to be black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of the priority list. You don't have to be black to be here, but you have to understand why we exist. We exist because we want to close the racial wealth gap, put our children ahead of the curve, and make our community the best that there ever was. So if you agree with this philosophy, put a hashtag B and the number one in the chat, hashtag B1 in the chat. That's our calling card. I want to say good morning to everybody. Before I begin, I always have to say good hello to family. Beverly and Lynetta and Lee and Lori Disney and Deshaun Farad and Weird Excursion. Lori, Lori's always in there. Lori's even in there when I'm having fun. I'm playing around. I'm playing Call of Duty. And all of y'all saw yesterday, I'm actually getting better. I'm actually getting good at gunning down these little crazy 14-year-olds that are playing on the video game. And that's a fun way to relax. But also, sometimes we play video games while we talk about stocks because I believe that investing and all that stuff should be fun. I think it should be something where you can just make it a part of your life. I think it's immature. Maturity is overrated. Maturity is severely overrated. So I've decided that I want to have some fun and just be a fool. So every now and then you might see me on my YouTube channel playing Call of Duty, and I'm not so bad at it anymore. But anyway, let's get started here. How many of you noticed? How many of you saw your stocks kind of drop a little bit today? The stock market took a major crash this morning. Let me see what the numbers are as of right now. It looks like the Dow has slid about 644.62 points to be exact. And I'm going to tell you exactly what's been going on with this. Why your stocks just took a butt whooping today. Why you're really feeling some pain right now. If you're following all this very closely, it's mainly because there's volatility that's been induced, or volatility is basically up and down, like herky-jerky, roller coaster ride, all that. All that's pretty much been induced by a couple of things that have happened in the last few days. The big one, in my view, is this whole thing. Did you give me a yes or no if you saw this? Joe Manchin, who is a very conservative Democrat, decided he wanted to block the Build Back Better plan by Joe Biden. Anybody else see that? Where Joe Manchin basically said, screw you, I'm not doing it. It's the craziest thing. I didn't understand it at first. I did a lot of commentary this weekend about Charlemagne the God and his interview with Kamala Harris, which, to me was a complete joke in so many ways, but also predictable. It's very predictable in terms of how they deal with the black community, right? But then he kept talking about Joe Manchin. So I'd heard this guy's name and I knew kind of what he was, but I didn't know all the details. So I looked it up and did some research. And basically, Joe Manchin is a Republican who disguises himself as a Democrat, and it's kind of hilarious because what happens is that when the Democrats are all like, yeah, let's all go do something, Joe Manchin's the guy who's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No. And so what happens is they end up negotiating with that one guy. They negotiate with that one guy as if he's like the leader of a country. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when I was little. I'm taking my kids to see Star Wars today. No, sorry, no, I said Star Wars. I meant to say Spider-Man, not Star Wars. Spider-Man. And when I was a little kid, I remember how excited I used to get when the new Star Wars movies would come out, right? Anybody remember those Star Wars movies? Maybe I got the music. That's probably like music from Superman or something. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. And I remember my cousin was real stubborn, and we were gonna go see Star Wars, and he didn't want to go because he thought that my mom had switched our boots. We had the very same boots, and we were poor. We had the cheap, ugly boots. His family bought him nice stuff. And my mother's like, no, these are your boots. She's like, those are not my boots. And we were like, no, these are your boots. And he's like, no, those ain't my boots. And I'm not going. And she was like, well, if you don't put your boots on, we can't go to the movies. I don't care. My daddy will take me to the movies. And I'm sitting there, I'm 8. I swear to God, this is a true story. I promise you I'm getting to a point. And I'm like, dude, these are your boots. Your boots cost 3 times more than mine. Put the boots on, or we're gonna lose out on this movie, man. And then I was like, look, mama, can you please just give him the ugly, just give him the cheap boots, give him my boots. Then I get a nice pair of boots. Like this fool is stupid, right? So sometimes the stupid fool, my buddy D1, who's a great rapper, has a song called You Stupid Fool. So sometimes the stupid fool holds up everything, and the stupid fool gets more attention than they deserve, and the stupid fool is the one that everybody's negotiating with. Literally, my whole family, all three of us, me, my mother, and my father, were all sitting there trying to negotiate with this crazy cousin who swore that his boots were my boots and my boots were his. And I was like, just give him what he wants so we can go see Star Wars. And I'll be damned if we didn't miss out on the Star Wars movie that night, because he would not listen, and I'm still mad to this day. I need to call my therapist because I'm very upset about this. Anyway, I'm being silly. So my point is to say that sometimes the stupid fool gets all the attention. Manchin right now, to some extent, in the eyes of the Democrats, he is the stupid fool. Now, is he a complete fool? Well, it depends on how you look at it. There are plenty of people. How many of you, give me a yes or no, how many of you are concerned that the government is overspending? How many of you feel that the government's going overboard, that they're making it rain, they acting like rappers in the club, just throwing up money like it ain't nothing? I mean, you think rappers are financially irresponsible? Go look at your government. Go look at your government. Elon Musk, smart guy. I like him actually. I think he's cool. He did a great interview with the Wall Street Journal where he basically said one of his reasons that he has an issue with taxing billionaires, which I don't completely agree with, because y'all need to be taxed a little bit. Elon should be paying more taxes. But one of the concerns he brought up was legitimate. He said, if you take a bunch of our money and you give it to the government, what do you think is going to happen to that money? And I was like, yeah, you're right. Your government is going to waste it. They waste money. They spend money like there's no tomorrow. They are destroying the country. All these plans. See, here's what they do. Here's the stupid game. Here's the game. They say we're going to go out and we're going to spend even more money than we don't have. That we don't have it. And then we're going to just spend even more money on top of that, right? Because we need to do this and do this and do this. And everybody agrees. Like, these things are important that you have to do. But then they'll say, well, how are you going to pay for that? We're $30 trillion in debt. Like, we'll never be out of debt. Our government will never be out of debt. And then they'll be like, oh, well, we have a 10-year plan on how we're going to repay the money, right? And now the reason that, so pay attention now. And Manchin brings this point up, and I don't disagree with him. He's actually right about this. So it's like, wait a minute. So you're going to go spend $2 trillion now, but you're going to pay for it over the next 10 years, right? Long after you're out of office, long after your plan doesn't actually go through, long after everything falls. How many of y'all really believe, I need to help some of y'all, if y'all really believe that the government's really going to be financially responsible on this plan? How many of y'all really believe that they're really going to claw back this money through higher taxes on the rich over the next 10 years? How many of y'all believe they're really going to really actually go through with that? Or if they're just blowing smoke up your butt? They're blowing smoke up your butt. And what's going to happen is 10 years from now, some small little office, the Congressional Budget Office, is going to go, well, you said back in 2021 that you were going to spend the next 10 years getting the money back. Well, you didn't actually get any of the money back. In fact, you spent more money. Right? That's what politicians do. It's not so much their fault. It's really the design of the system. The system is designed to get them to spend lots of money in the short term and just make lots of BS long-term promises that they don't keep. Your politicians are a big pack of liars. And I don't understand why we keep electing liars to office. It doesn't make any sense to me. But here's the deal. So basically, Manchin, for making valid points, to be honest with you, he blocks his Build Back Better plan because of the way your society's structured. Rich people were going to get a big piece of that money. Corporations were going to get a big piece of that money. So because that money looks like it might not come through, your stock prices drop because Goldman Sachs actually reduced its GDP estimate over next year because they're not going to keep pumping money into the economy. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? It depends on how you look at it. The other piece is obviously the Omicron variant. The Omicron situation is one that's interesting because lots of cases are everywhere. They're going to find it all over the globe. They found it in most of the states, but I still haven't really seen anything where Omicron is just killing thousands of people by the hour. I haven't seen, dead bodies out in the street and morgues overflowing because of the number of Omicron deaths. But then again, that's the cynic in me. So, but here's the thing: Omicron has a real impact on economic activity. It has a real impact on the probability of shutdown. It has a real impact on countries shutting their borders down. So these are real things that have real effects on your economics. So that also caused a little bit of a dip. But here's the last thing I'm going to say to you, and then I have a meeting in 2 minutes. The first thing I want to say is go follow Financial Juneteenth on Instagram. If you haven't followed Financial Juneteenth on Instagram, that's kind of our backup financial channel, because we get shadow banned sometimes when we start talking a little bit too black, and you know how we got the whole censorship thing going on. So we try to have a plan B. So our plan B is Financial Juneteenth. There's lots of financial information up there, lots of free stuff that you can use to build your wealth and everything else. So feel free to follow Financial Juneteenth on Instagram, and also make sure that you text the word Boyce to 31996. That way we can be connected via text. Text Boyce to 31996. If you're on Instagram, just hit the link in the bio. There's plenty of stuff there as well. Last piece. Here's the thing I want you to understand about volatility and risk. Volatility is what you're seeing right now. Volatility is like a bad relationship, like Ike and Tina. 1 minute they're giving each other kisses, the next minute somebody's getting punched in the face. That's your stock market right now. You have a volatile market because you have a lot of information dispersion. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. This virus kind of keeps popping up every now and then and just messing things up. That is, in my view, your opportunity. If you can stay cool, if you can stay cool and calm and relaxed, then you will probably make a ton of money. So basically, a lot of these things, like these drops in prices of companies, good companies like Royal Caribbean, these what they call the reopening plays, Carnival, others that might have dropped because of this. Well, that might be an opportunity to buy, because I don't think the Omicron variant is going to destroy the economy. It's not going to kill everybody. The scientists are kind of saying this already. What was it? What are those companies? Moderna just came out with a new jab that they say protects against that variant. So if you're into jabs, I'm not into it, but it's okay. If that's your thing, then I respect it. I put respect on your name if that's your thing. But the thing is that this is good news to say that maybe some of that fear will subside. So it's not so much the virus that scares me. It's really the fear induced by the virus that can kind of throw things off. But remember, volatility is an opportunity if you can stay cool, because the ultimate antidote to volatility is time. If you let enough time go by, everything kind of smooths out. You bought your stock in May of 2021, you sell it in June of 2028. You don't really care about what happened on December 20th, 2021, because that's just one out of maybe about 2,000 days that you own that stock. Do you understand what I'm saying? Give me a yes in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. So my message to you today is stay cool, chill out, relax. Don't freak out. Don't go crazy. Keep it low. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Okay. Get it? Make sense? Make sense? Okay, good. All right. I got to go. I got a meeting. BoyceWatkins.com. If you go to BoyceWatkins.com, take a look at our wealth building program for children. If you want to get your kids ahead of the curve, we have a program called Black Millionaires of Tomorrow. There's a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. There are modules based on real estate, starting your own business, investing in stock, things you can do for your kids that would put them ahead of everyone else. This is something I put together when I was back at Syracuse University in terms of conceptualizing ways our kids can get ahead of everybody else's kids. So feel free to take a look at the program. It's very, very good. And there's a payment plan, all that stuff. So BoyceWatkins.com. If you're on Instagram, the link's in the bio. I got to go, guys. Have a good day. God bless you. Thank you for listening. And I'll be back a little bit later to talk about what else is going on in the market. And we'll have stock market investing class tomorrow. See you guys soon. Take care. Be good. Peace.